spent the past 3 seasons as offensive coordinator in Denver. Actually, you succeeded Gary Kubiak as offensive coordinator in Denver, right? So this has got to be a pretty smooth transition for you.
Relatively. I spent most of my time, though, working with the line and the offensive. I push papers. This will be a little bit different working with the passing game, a little bit more closely with the passing game, but knowing a lot of, we carried a lot of the same things, run and pass, so it's pretty comfortable right now.
Now, you played and coached with Gary Kubiak, correct?
That's correct. We were teammates in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
That dates me, I know.
Well, even back then, did you think that he'd be where he is now?
Oh, I knew he'd be a coach. You could tell that, just his demeanor, his knowledge, he understood the game very well. I didn't think I would ever be a coach. It's just one of those things that I worked into being.
Well, I got to ask you why. How come you never thought this would be the road for you?
I spent a lot of time in school and college studying. I wanted to be an engineer, and I tried that for a year, and it wasn't as exciting as a football game, I guess. I missed the game too much. After playing for 9 years, I just enjoyed the game, and sitting at a desk and doing the work was okay, but it wasn't new.
But what an opportunity. You come here and you've got a quarterback who led the league in passing yards last year and arguably the best wide receiver in the NFL.
All the players are great, have been great. We have a lot of skill on offense, particularly with the two that you mentioned. And they know the system very well. They're teaching me as we go along.
Very positive things already in place here for you offensively. What are you working on during OTAs?
Well, we're just teaching the base concepts, the core of what we do, the terminology, because Gary believes, and I think he correctly believes, that during the season's so long, if you're teaching concepts right now, they'll understand, and you can run whatever you want week 16, and it should be similar to what you run week 1. As long as they understand the concepts and where people are distributed, everybody's used to doing it. You just do the same thing over and over. It just looks different to the defense by change of formation, change of personnel. And we're basically just getting our base concepts in. Everybody's getting coordinated, trying to understand what the next guy's doing and fit the scheme in, getting our timing down.
There are a lot of people who think that between the off-season conditioning program, OTAs, minicamp, and then of course 4 preseason games that are, that take place during training camp, that there's almost overkill in the NFL in the off-season. Do you believe these sessions are essential?
Oh, I do. I think they are, if not just to teach your guys, but to get your guys used to each other. I think the chemistry is one of the most underrated things in the NFL. If they believe it's more important to play for their teammates than it is for their own self, I think that's when you win. When everybody's kind of in the same boat, we're all in this together, and it's important for me not to let my guy down. I think that's one of the things that we're really teaching around here, because they're not on there that long. We meet for a while in the morning, we go out and practice, they're done by noon.
Yeah. The competition at running back, certainly, as Coach Kubiak has characterized it, is pretty wide open. And I guess I want to know from you, how much behind the 8 ball is the rookie Tate because he's not been able to get on the field?
Well, that's certainly that it would benefit him to be out there right now because, just the tracks and getting used to what we're trying to teach him. It's from what he came in college with the open stuff and being a gun a bunch, shotgun a bunch. It's going to be a learning curve for him. I don't think he's that far behind. It would help him to be there, but we'll have time to catch him up. And the competition, I think that every one of those guys has been working really, really hard. And we'll just go out there in training camp and go through the preseason games and see who deserves to run the ball.
Well, in Denver, you guys certainly had your fair share of running backs who came in somewhat unheralded, if not undrafted at times, but lower round draft picks who became stars in this league. Arian Foster is a kid that I think a lot of fans are intrigued by. He had the great success in the final 2 games of the regular season last year. He was undrafted prior to his rookie season last year, but he's a guy that, in particular with his running style, fits right in with what you're doing, right?
Yeah, I think the common denominator we had with a lot of those guys is that explosive, downhill, no messing around cuts. And he fits it, you know, Ben fits it, Steve will do some good things, he'll fit that. You know, I think each of the guys, and once they understand what we're trying to get done, and that was the thing that Terrell did very well, and Mike Anderson did very well, they knew what was going on, they trusted the lineman trusted him, the back to do the things the right way, or to find the right spot, bring the linebackers to him. And I think once we get that coordinated, we'll be okay.
Is the ideal scenario perhaps to have Steve Slayton evolve into a third down back?
I don't know that there's an ideal thing. It's let's throw them all out there.
Questions regarding Trendon Holiday from LSU. He's listed at wide receiver. Gentleman's an LSU fan, remembers him as a running back, wondering what the plans are for him.
Well, right now we've got him lined up at wide receiver, and he's taking reps as a wide receiver. With his body type and the length that of the people standing in line at running back, you know, he wouldn't get many reps over there. So we're going to give it a shot at wide out because he has tremendous speed, obviously, and he'll get his shots at return. And it's, you know, it is OTAs. We're not really doing anything special for any one person. If he develops and there's something that maybe he fits into, then we'll throw him in there. But right now he's as a wide out, and he's shown some good things. He has nice hands. He has good hands, and he can run. That's for sure. He can pressure the defense, but it is a new deal for him, you know, being a wide out. That's not an easy deal.
Follow-up?
Has his speed translated over to the NFL just like it did in college? Because the guy was world-class speed.
Oh, you can tell when he's on the field. He runs really, really fast. Somebody said, does he look like a ball boy? And I said, not after you watch him run.
Well, the happiest guy out there is David Anderson, because he's no longer the shortest guy in the Have you, seriously, Trendon Holiday might be the shortest guy I've ever seen in the NFL.
Yeah, you know, like I said, I just saw a blur. After that, I didn't see his side. I got to run really fast.
Right up front here. Go ahead, sir.
Coach, what's going to be different this year? What are you going to bring that's going to be something we haven't seen yet?
You know, I don't think it's going to be a whole lot. I think, you know, my whole thing is just being consistent. I think there were some ups and downs last year, particularly in the run game, and from where I come from, it's the same thing over and over. Basically what I was talking about with Gary with the passing game. You know, he likes to do the same thing over and over with different formations and different fronts, different personnel, and that's where I come from, the run game. It's a zone scheme. We'll have some change-ups, but it'll look different to the defense right before the snap, and then it'll be the same thing after. And we just need to find that groove, and just like I said, get the back to trust the line to trust the back, and it will be good.